Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Hidden Figures, 2016, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. Released in 2016, Hidden Figures tells the remarkable, true story of three African-American women who played pivotal roles in the early days of NASA's space program. Directed by Theodore Melfi, the film shines a spotlight on Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, three unsung heroes whose contributions were integral to the success of John Glenn's historic orbital flight. Set against the backdrop of the 1960s, an era rife with racial segregation and gender discrimination, Hidden Figures is a stirring tribute to their intelligence, perseverance, and groundbreaking achievements that changed the course of history. At the heart of this inspiring narrative is Katherine Johnson, portrayed by Taraji P. Henson. Katherine is a brilliant mathematician whose calculations were crucial in determining the flight path for John Glenn's 1962 orbital mission. But despite her exceptional skills, she faces the obstacles of being both black and female in a male-dominated, racially segregated workplace. In the film, Katherine's journey is not only one of scientific achievement but also one of personal growth, as she breaks barriers and defies the conventions of society. Henson's performance, which received widespread acclaim, brings depth and authenticity to this remarkable figure, portraying Katherine's quiet strength and determination with grace. Alongside Katherine is Dorothy Vaughan, played by Octavia Spencer. Dorothy is a mathematician and computer programmer who is ahead of her time. As the supervisor of the West Area Computers, an all-black group of women working at NASA, Dorothy's leadership skills shine through as she guides her team through the ever-evolving world of technology. Dorothy's story is one of self-empowerment and innovation, as she not only fights for recognition but also takes the initiative to teach herself and her colleagues to program the newly introduced IBM computers, a move that ensures their relevance in the changing workforce. Spencer's portrayal of Dorothy is both fierce and compassionate, capturing the essence of a woman who quietly forged a path for others while never asking for recognition. Then there's Mary Jackson, played by Janelle Monáe. Mary is an aspiring engineer who faces systemic obstacles in her quest to advance her career. As one of the few African-American women at NASA, she's told that the path to becoming an engineer is too difficult for someone of her background. But Mary's determination and resourcefulness push her to take bold steps, including petitioning the court for permission to attend graduate school at the all-white University of Virginia, a move that defies the status quo. Monáe brings Mary to life with a blend of intelligence, humor, and unrelenting drive, making her a character whose resilience resonates deeply. These three women, Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary, are the driving forces behind Hidden Figures, and their personal and professional journeys intersect in powerful ways. The film not only focuses on their contributions to the space race but also on their individual struggles for respect and equality in a world that consistently underestimated their potential. Together, they form an unlikely team whose brilliance helped propel America to new heights in space exploration. But beyond the mathematical equations and scientific breakthroughs, Hidden Figures is about breaking barriers, defying expectations, and asserting one's worth in the face of adversity. The story is set during the height of the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union in the early 1960s. The race to space is not just a race for technological supremacy, it's also a symbol of American ingenuity and progress. At the time, NASA was a primarily white, male institution, and the barriers for women and African Americans were especially high. But as the film shows, it's the brilliance of these women, working behind the scenes, often in segregated spaces, that enables the U.S. to make monumental strides in space exploration. The narrative begins with Katherine Johnson's early days at NASA, where she is assigned to work with the all-male team responsible for calculating the trajectory for John Glenn's mission. Despite her extraordinary talents, she faces resistance from her colleagues who are unwilling to acknowledge her abilities simply because of her race and gender. In one of the film's most memorable scenes, Katherine must navigate the segregated bathrooms at NASA, a subtle but powerful representation of the systemic racism and sexism she faces. Her colleagues, played by the likes of Kevin Costner, as Al Harrison, her supportive but sometimes aloof supervisor, gradually begin to recognize her genius, though it takes time and persistence. Meanwhile, Dorothy Vaughan is introduced as the head of the West Area Computers, a position that affords her little authority in the eyes of her male counterparts, but she manages to lead with intelligence and grace. As IBM computers are introduced to NASA, Dorothy realizes that the shift to machine computing will leave many of her colleagues out of work unless they adapt. This is where her ingenuity shines. Rather than see herself and her team pushed aside, she takes it upon herself to learn how to program the computers, eventually teaching her entire team how to do the same. Dorothy's story is one of self-empowerment, as she not only fights for her own advancement but also ensures the success of those around her. Mary Jackson, on the other hand, faces a different set of challenges. She is ambitious and driven, but her desire to become an engineer is met with resistance from the authorities at NASA, who tell her that she is not qualified because she lacks the proper degree. In an audacious move, Mary petitions the court to allow her to take graduate-level courses at an all-white school, breaking racial barriers in pursuit of her dream. Her journey is not just about technical expertise, it's about breaking down the psychological and institutional walls that confine her potential. The film weaves the stories of these three women together, showing how they each face personal and professional hurdles that are daunting in their own right. But as their stories unfold, the film reveals the incredible power of collaboration and solidarity. The three women's paths intersect in significant ways, and their collective efforts are instrumental in the success of NASA's space missions. One of the key emotional beats in Hidden Figures is the way the film shows the support these women offer one another in their journeys. They help each other navigate the obstacles they face, whether it's Katherine's struggles with the all-male team or Dorothy's fight to keep her team employed. Together, they form a support system that enables them to overcome the systemic injustices that threaten to hold them back. This sense of sisterhood is essential to the film's emotional resonance and is one of the most powerful aspects of the story. As the film progresses, Katherine's role becomes increasingly central to the success of John Glenn's orbital flight. The moment when she calculates the trajectory for Glenn's mission is one of the film's most thrilling sequences. The tension is palpable as Katherine races against time to finalize her calculations, knowing that the success of the mission, and the lives of the astronauts, depend on her precision. It's a breathtaking moment of triumph for Katherine, as she proves not only to her colleagues but also to herself that she is capable of achieving the impossible. In the film's final act, Dorothy's leadership and determination help secure the future of the West Area Computers team, as she ensures that they are trained in the new technology and able to adapt to the changing times. Mary's determination to become an engineer pays off when she finally earns her degree and achieves her dream of becoming a NASA engineer. The film ends on a powerful note, with all three women being recognized for their incredible contributions to the success of the U.S. space program. But the story doesn't end there. The final scenes are a tribute to the real-life figures upon whom the film is based. We see archival footage of the actual Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, reminding us that their accomplishments are not just the stuff of film fiction, they are real, and their impact on history is undeniable. The film's ending is a powerful reminder of the importance of recognizing the contributions of those who have been overlooked by history, particularly women and people of color. Hidden Figures is a film that celebrates the power of determination, resilience, and the importance of breaking barriers. It is a testament to the unsung heroes whose contributions have shaped our world in ways that are often overlooked. The film not only highlights the achievements of these incredible women but also reminds us of the broader struggle for racial and gender equality that continues to this day. It is a film that resonates on both a personal and a societal level, leaving audiences inspired by the courage and strength of the women at its heart. So, what are the key takeaways from this powerful film? First, Hidden Figures is a reminder that the stories of those who are often marginalized are just as important as those that dominate the mainstream narrative. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson proved that intelligence, drive, and passion know no bounds, and their stories are a testament to the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. The second takeaway is that collaboration and support are essential when it comes to overcoming systemic challenges. Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary couldn't have succeeded without each other's help. Their collective efforts represent the power of sisterhood and solidarity, which continue to be vital in the fight for equality today. Finally, Hidden Figures is a call to recognize and celebrate the unsung heroes of history, those who have changed the world through their quiet brilliance and unwavering determination. The film serves as a reminder that, behind every great achievement, there are often untold stories of individuals who have broken barriers and paved the way for others. In the opening of Hidden Figures, we are introduced to the world of NASA during the early 1960s, a time when the United States was locked in a fierce race with the Soviet Union to dominate space exploration. At the heart of this burgeoning space program are three incredibly talented African-American women: Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson. Each one of them faces immense challenges, both racial and gender-based, in a workplace that was overwhelmingly white and male. Yet their exceptional abilities and determination paved the way for them to become indispensable to NASA's success. Their journey begins in the segregated South, where their intelligence and work ethic pushed them into environments that were not designed for them to succeed. Katherine Johnson, played by Taraji P. Henson, is a brilliant mathematician with a special talent for complex calculations. She is introduced as a quiet but confident woman working in the colored section of the West Area Computers, a group of African-American women who are responsible for doing the intricate calculations required for the space program. Katherine's life is not easy. As a black woman in a segregated workplace, she faces discrimination at every turn. She is forced to walk across campus to a separate bathroom designated for African Americans, a scene that subtly highlights the systemic racism that permeates the workplace. However, Katherine's exceptional math skills do not go unnoticed. When a problem arises with the calculations for the trajectory of a test flight, she is invited to join a team of engineers working on the mission. This is a pivotal moment for Katherine. It's an opportunity that comes with its own set of challenges, as she must prove herself in a room full of white male engineers who don't see her as an equal. Meanwhile, Dorothy Vaughan, Octavia Spencer, is leading a team of African-American women at NASA who are tasked with performing calculations by hand. Dorothy is a mathematician and the unofficial leader of the West Area Computers, but she has yet to receive the title of supervisor. The film presents Dorothy as a highly competent, resourceful woman who quietly navigates the systemic obstacles in her path. She has a deep understanding of the growing need for computer programming as NASA shifts toward using machines to process data. When the new IBM computers are introduced at NASA, Dorothy recognizes the opportunity to not only keep her job but to teach herself and her team how to use the machines to their advantage. Despite the resistance she faces from her white colleagues, Dorothy demonstrates her natural leadership skills and begins to help her team adapt to the changing landscape of NASA's operations. Mary Jackson, Janelle Monáe, has her own set of obstacles to overcome. She's an ambitious, fiery woman who wants to become an engineer at NASA. But to do so, she needs to attend graduate school to earn an engineering degree. In a segregated society, that's easier said than done. The school she needs to attend is an all-white institution, and she is initially told by her superiors that it is an impossible goal. However, Mary's determination drives her to take bold actions. She petitions the court for permission to take the necessary night classes at the all-white school, defying the racial and institutional norms of the time. Her journey is filled with moments of both triumph and frustration, as she fights to prove that she has what it takes to become the engineer she's always dreamed of being. As Katherine's work progresses, her talent begins to shine. Her mathematical prowess is recognized by Al Harrison, Kevin Costner, the head of the Space Task Group. Despite some initial reluctance from her colleagues, Harrison begins to realize that Katherine's contributions are critical to the success of the space program. In one key scene, he asks Katherine to assist with calculations for the upcoming launch of John Glenn, the astronaut who will eventually become the first American to orbit the Earth. This moment is crucial because it marks Katherine's official entry into the inner workings of NASA's space program. It's a turning point in her career, but it also sets the stage for the personal challenges she faces as a black woman in a white, male-dominated field. One of the film's most powerful scenes occurs when Katherine is summoned to a meeting with her colleagues, who are struggling with the calculations for John Glenn's upcoming flight. The tension is palpable as Katherine walks into a room filled with white men who have never seen her as an equal. Her initial silence speaks volumes. She's used to being marginalized, and the weight of that history is felt in her every step. But Katherine's brilliance quickly dispels any doubts her colleagues may have. She proves that her contributions are vital, and in doing so, she gains their respect. This moment is a major turning point for her character, as she begins to claim her rightful place in the scientific community. Meanwhile, Dorothy's story unfolds alongside Katherine's. As the IBM computers become more integrated into NASA's operations, Dorothy and her team are forced to adapt to new technology. Dorothy's understanding of the machines and her ability to teach others how to use them becomes a critical element of NASA's success. While the other women in the West Area Computers Group are hesitant to learn new programming skills, Dorothy's foresight ensures that they remain relevant in the changing technological landscape. Her decision to learn the IBM machines is a reflection of her resilience and adaptability, and it sets her apart as a trailblazer for both her team and the space program. Throughout the film, Dorothy is portrayed as a quiet but strong leader, one who leads by example and never asks for anything she doesn't deserve. As the film progresses, it's clear that Dorothy's ability to navigate the barriers of race and gender will have a lasting impact on NASA and the future of the space program. For Mary Jackson, the obstacles she faces are both external and internal. She has the intelligence and the drive to become an engineer, but she must also fight against the societal forces that tell her she's not allowed to succeed. Her petition to attend graduate school is a bold step that exemplifies her determination, but it's also a moment of personal growth. When she's denied entry to the classes she needs, Mary doesn't back down. She challenges the system. It's a pivotal moment that serves as a metaphor for the larger fight for equality that is playing out across the nation. Mary's persistence is a testament to her character, and as she continues to fight for her dreams, the film shows that even in a world stacked against her, she can still rise to the occasion. As the film progresses, we see Katherine's growing importance at NASA. The men who initially dismissed her are now coming to rely on her expertise. When the team faces a critical issue with John Glenn's flight, Katherine is called upon to solve a complex mathematical problem that could mean the difference between success and failure. Her moment of brilliance comes when she correctly calculates the trajectory for Glenn's flight, which is vital for the success of the mission. In a powerful scene, she triumphs in front of her colleagues, cementing her place as one of NASA's most valuable assets. Katherine's breakthrough is not just a professional triumph, it's also a personal one. She has proven that she belongs at NASA, that her intelligence and contributions are irreplaceable. Meanwhile, Dorothy's story unfolds as she pushes forward with the IBM machines. Her quiet determination leads her to becoming one of the first African-American women to be recognized for her work as a programmer. Her team's success with the new technology ensures that they continue to be a vital part of NASA's operations, and Dorothy's leadership is integral to the team's ability to adapt and evolve. Mary's journey takes her further into uncharted territory as she pursues her goal of becoming an engineer. The challenges she faces are not just academic. She must also contend with the emotional and social costs of challenging the status quo. But Mary's resilience pays off when she is finally granted the opportunity to attend graduate school. Her success is a testament to the power of perseverance and the courage to challenge a system that is designed to hold her back. As the film moves forward, the audience becomes fully invested in the personal and professional journeys of these three extraordinary women. Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary all experience moments of triumph and frustration, but they remain determined in their pursuit of excellence. Each one of them faces a system that is built to exclude them, yet they find ways to overcome the odds and prove that their brilliance is undeniable. As their stories continue to unfold, the film paints a powerful portrait of the quiet revolution that these women waged against a society that sought to limit their potential. In these early stages of Hidden Figures, we see the seeds of change being planted. Each woman's journey is marked by moments of personal growth, professional success, and the realization that their contributions are not only important to NASA's success but also to the larger story of American progress. Their stories serve as a reminder of the importance of recognizing the contributions of those who are often overlooked and the power of determination in the face of adversity. As the film builds toward its climactic moments, we are left eagerly anticipating the next steps in the journeys of Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary. Their resilience, intelligence, and drive make them true pioneers, and their story is just beginning. The second act of Hidden Figures intensifies the personal and professional stakes for Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson as they continue to navigate the obstacles placed in their paths, while also making profound contributions to the success of NASA's space program. Katherine's role within the Space Task Group continues to grow. She is now an integral part of the team working on John Glenn's mission to orbit the Earth. The responsibility she bears is immense, but so is her brilliance. As the team works toward the launch, a crucial moment arises. John Glenn, the astronaut slated for the mission, has his doubts about the calculations for his flight, particularly regarding the trajectory. In a key scene, Glenn requests that Katherine personally verify the numbers before he takes off. This moment is a powerful acknowledgement of Katherine's extraordinary skill. For the first time, she is not just a member of the team. She is the person entrusted with ensuring that the mission will succeed. Katherine's journey to this point has not been easy. Despite her achievements, she has faced constant challenges, including racial prejudice and gender-based discrimination. Her presence in the room with her colleagues is a reminder of the rigid structures that have kept women of color out of professional spaces for so long. Yet, Katherine's quiet, confident demeanor speaks volumes. She doesn't back down or let the stares or dismissals get to her. Instead, she focuses on the task at hand. When she solves the trajectory problem and ensures Glenn's safe launch, it is a monumental moment for both her and NASA. Katherine's achievements go largely unrecognized by her colleagues, but they are no less important. Her ability to solve complex mathematical problems under pressure solidifies her legacy as one of the greatest mathematicians in history. As Katherine's work continues to propel NASA forward, Dorothy Vaughan's journey is marked by her transformation into a trailblazer in the world of computing. The film portrays her as a woman who never asks for permission but instead takes charge of her own destiny. When NASA's transition to IBM computers becomes a reality, Dorothy seizes the opportunity to not only learn the new programming language but also teach it to the rest of the women in her group. At first, Dorothy's leadership is not immediately recognized by NASA's white male leadership, but her team's success with the machines proves her invaluable. In a pivotal moment, Dorothy is officially promoted to supervisor, a long-awaited acknowledgement of her work and dedication. Dorothy's journey of leadership culminates in a celebration of her accomplishments. She becomes one of the first African-American women at NASA to achieve such a position, but this recognition is not just a personal victory. It represents a seismic shift in the way women, particularly African-American women, are viewed in the workplace. Dorothy's persistence and determination paid off. She proved that leadership and intelligence are not defined by race or gender, but by capability and effort. Her role as a pioneer in the computing field is a testament to her foresight, hard work, and unwavering belief in her team. Meanwhile, Mary Jackson's journey takes an emotional and inspiring turn as she continues to fight for her dream of becoming an engineer. After her petition to attend graduate school is initially rejected, she refuses to accept defeat. In a remarkable act of courage, Mary fights for her right to take the necessary classes, petitioning the court to attend the segregated night school. This is not only a personal battle for her, but also an act of defiance against the societal norms of the time. She takes a stand for herself and other women who were silenced by the systems of segregation and oppression. Her fight for education is not without sacrifices. She faces challenges both inside and outside the classroom. At the segregated night school, she encounters hostility and resistance from some of the white students and faculty. However, Mary's determination remains unwavering. She rises to every challenge and shows that her ambition will not be curtailed by the barriers placed before her. Through sheer grit and intellectual excellence, Mary not only completes the courses required for her engineering degree, but also secures her place as one of NASA's first African-American female engineers. Her journey is a testament to the power of perseverance and the importance of challenging the status quo. As the space race heats up, the stakes for all three women grow higher. NASA's challenges are monumental, and the pressure to succeed is immense. The women are constantly tested, but they rise to each challenge, proving that their intelligence and resolve are unmatched. Their contributions are crucial to NASA's success, but their personal battles remain just as significant. They are not just fighting for the success of the space program, they are fighting for their place in history, for recognition, and for equality in a world that often seeks to silence their voices. In the climactic moments of the film, the long-awaited launch of John Glenn's mission takes place. The tension in the air is palpable as the countdown begins. Katherine Johnson is on hand, standing at the center of the control room, watching as the mission is about to unfold. Her role in ensuring Glenn's safe flight is central to the success of the mission, and she has proven herself time and again as the key player in making the impossible possible. The launch goes off without a hitch, and Glenn successfully orbits the Earth. It's a moment of triumph not only for NASA but also for Katherine, whose contributions have been integral to the success of the mission. However, her triumph is not a solitary one. Dorothy Vaughn's contributions to NASA's success, especially with the transition to IBM computers, are finally recognized. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that NASA's computing teams remain at the forefront of technological innovation, and her leadership has been pivotal in shaping the future of NASA's operations. Dorothy's promotion to supervisor is a moment of vindication for all of the hard work she has put in over the years. It's a celebration of her leadership, and it signals a shift in the way women of color are viewed in the workplace. Dorothy's story is one of quiet resilience, and her achievements are a reminder of the untold contributions of African American women to the American space program. Mary Jackson's success as an engineer is the culmination of her relentless pursuit of her dreams. Her journey to become an engineer at NASA is not just about her individual success but about breaking down the barriers that stood in the way of so many others. Mary's victory is a testament to the power of education, determination, and the will to challenge an unjust system. As she stands on the cusp of achieving her goal, the audience sees a woman who has fought against every odds, not just for herself, but for future generations of women and minorities who will follow in her footsteps. In the final moments of Hidden Figures, we see Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary standing as symbols of perseverance, intelligence, and hope. Their stories remind us that the fight for equality is never easy, but with resilience and determination, anything is possible. These women, who were once overlooked and undervalued, changed the course of history. Their contributions to NASA and the space program are profound, and their legacy continues to inspire generations of women and minorities to reach for the stars. The resolution of their stories is not just about their individual successes but about the larger cultural shift they represent. Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary were not just exceptional women. They were pioneers in a time when their contributions were overlooked and their talents were suppressed. But their brilliance shone through, and in doing so, they became symbols of the power of education, persistence, and the unwavering belief that every person, no matter their race or gender, has the potential to change the world. Their stories have become part of the fabric of American history, and their legacy lives on in every woman and person of color who dares to dream beyond the boundaries placed before them. In Hidden Figures, the central characters are more than just key players in a historical drama. They are symbols of strength, resilience, and intellect in a time when these qualities were often dismissed because of their race and gender. The three main characters, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, are based on real women whose contributions to NASA were pivotal in launching the United States to victory in the space race. Each of them faces her own unique set of challenges, but their journeys are interwoven through their shared commitment to breaking down barriers and defying expectations. Let's take a deeper look at their personalities, struggles, and triumphs, and understand how they shape the heart of this incredible story. Katherine Johnson, portrayed by Taraji P. Henson, is the epitome of quiet brilliance and strength. As an African-American mathematician working at NASA in the early 1960s, Katherine is a pioneer in an environment where both race and gender present considerable challenges. However, Katherine never lets these challenges define her. What stands out about Katherine is her determination and focus. She doesn't seek attention, Yet when it comes to mathematics and solving complex equations, she is unmatched. Her quiet intelligence radiates, and she becomes indispensable to NASA's mission to send an astronaut into space. Katherine's calm demeanor contrasts with the chaos around her, especially when her colleagues are unsure about the trajectory calculations for John Glenn's flight. But Katherine's confidence in her own abilities, along with her profound understanding of mathematical equations, ultimately proves essential to the success of Glenn's mission. However, Katherine's journey is not without its struggles. Her presence in the control room, surrounded by white male engineers, is a constant reminder of the racial and gender biases that define her reality. She is often treated as less than her colleagues, overlooked for promotions, and denied the recognition she deserves. One of the film's most poignant moments comes when Katherine, despite her critical role in Glenn's flight, is asked to step aside for the sake of convenience, illustrating just how deeply entrenched the biases against her are. Yet, Katherine perseveres. Her strength lies not only in her intellect but in her ability to navigate these challenges without losing her integrity or sense of self-worth. At her core, Katherine is driven by her love for mathematics and her unwavering commitment to her work. Her passion for her field, and her refusal to be marginalized, serve as the backbone of her character. Her journey is a triumph of intellectual power in the face of adversity, showing that brilliance cannot, and should not, be confined by the prejudices of society. Then there is Dorothy Vaughan, played by Octavia Spencer, whose intelligence is just as formidable, though it's shaped in a different way. Dorothy is a self-taught mathematician and a brilliant problem-solver. As the leader of the West Area Computers, an all-black group of women tasked with performing complex calculations for NASA, Dorothy carries the responsibility of overseeing the daily operations of the team. Yet, despite her leadership position, Dorothy is never given the official title of supervisor. This oversight speaks volumes about the way that institutional and racial biases devalue her role at NASA. Dorothy's quiet strength and sharp intellect shine through in her willingness to adapt to the changing needs of NASA. When NASA introduces the IBM computers, Dorothy could easily have resisted the new technology, seeing it as a threat to her job and the job security of her team. But instead, Dorothy takes a proactive approach, learning the new computer programming languages and teaching her team how to do the same. Her vision and foresight in recognizing that computers were the future of NASA's work allow her to steer her team toward success. She empowers the women in her charge, ensuring that they too can learn the skills necessary to thrive in an evolving technological landscape. While Dorothy's intelligence is undeniable, what truly sets her apart is her leadership. Dorothy leads by example, never demanding more from her team than she herself is willing to give. She doesn't seek praise or attention for her contributions, but instead focuses on the success of the group. Her ability to foster a sense of unity and purpose in a time when African American women were often disregarded is a testament to her leadership abilities. Dorothy's evolution over the course of the film is a profound example of how one person's determination can not only change her own future but the future of those around her. Her story is one of quiet but unstoppable force, highlighting the impact of resilience, adaptability, and the willingness to fight for what's right. Lastly, there is Mary Jackson, played by Janelle Monáe, whose journey is one of perseverance and boldness. Mary's story is defined by her desire to become an engineer at NASA, a dream that seems out of reach given the social and racial barriers of the time. Despite the systemic obstacles that stand in her way, Mary remains unyielding in her pursuit of higher education and career advancement. She sees an engineering degree as the only way to make her dreams a reality, but the road to getting one is not straightforward. Mary's courage is evident in her determination to attend an all-white school in order to obtain the qualifications she needs. When her application is rejected, she does not simply accept the status quo. Instead, she challenges the system, appealing to the court for the right to attend the night classes required for her engineering degree. Mary's battle is not just a personal one. It represents the larger struggle for equality and opportunity for African American women in every field, not just in science. Mary's persistence in the face of institutionalized discrimination is a powerful reminder of the importance of breaking down barriers, especially when those barriers seem insurmountable. As Mary fights for her education, her passion for engineering grows stronger. She has a natural aptitude for science and technology, and her journey becomes an embodiment of the idea that anyone, regardless of race or gender, can achieve greatness if they are willing to challenge the system. Mary's character represents the courage to step outside of the limited roles that society prescribes for women of color. Her determination to become an engineer at NASA is an act of resistance against the confines of her time, and her eventual success as one of the first African-American female engineers at NASA is a culmination of everything she fought for. What makes Mary stand out is not just her intelligence or her ambition, but her willingness to go against the grain. She is unafraid to challenge the expectations placed upon her by both society and the institution she works for. Her bravery in seeking an engineering degree and becoming a role model for future generations of women of color is one of the most inspiring aspects of her character. Together, Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary represent a diverse range of experiences and strengths, but they are united by their intelligence, ambition, and the drive to succeed in a world that is set against them. They are each individually remarkable women, but it is their collective story that speaks to the power of collaboration, determination, and the pursuit of excellence. They defy the labels that society places on them, using their intellects to solve complex problems and changing the course of history in the process. The beauty of Hidden Figures lies in how it allows these women to stand in their full humanity. Their brilliance is shown not just in the mathematical equations they solve or the technical skills they possess, but in their ability to persist in an environment that is hostile to them. Each character has moments of doubt, but they don't let those moments define them. Instead, they channel their inner strength to continue their work, knowing that their success will not only change the course of history for themselves, but also for future generations of women and people of color. Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary are all portrayed as strong, multifaceted characters whose emotional depth is as complex as their intellectual abilities. Katherine's vulnerability is shown in her struggle for recognition and respect in a field that doesn't value her contributions. Dorothy's quiet leadership is revealed in her ability to guide her team through the challenges of change while ensuring their success. Mary's fiery determination shines through in her refusal to let society dictate her future. Together, they embody the power of resilience, intellect, and courage in the face of adversity. Hidden Figures is a movie that continues to inspire audiences not only because of its powerful story, but also because of the remarkable journey it took from script to screen. While the film's historical accuracy and the profound impact of the real-life women it portrays have captured the public's imagination, there's much more to its making than meets the eye. From surprising behind-the-scenes stories to fascinating tidbits of trivia, Hidden Figures has a unique history that is filled with intriguing facts and unusual occurrences during its production. Let's take a deep dive into some of the strangest and most fascinating details about how this unforgettable film came to life. The journey of bringing Hidden Figures to the big screen began long before the cast and crew stepped onto the set. The source material, Margot Lee Shetterly's 2016 book, Hidden Figures, The American Dream and the Untold Story of the Black Women Who Helped Win the Space Race, was the catalyst for the film's creation. Shetterly's book explored the untold stories of African-American women who worked as mathematicians and engineers at NASA during the space race, and it was through her own research that these incredible stories were brought to light. Shetterly, who grew up in Hampton, Virginia, where many of the women in the book lived and worked, became deeply interested in the women's stories after learning about their significant contributions to NASA. Her book, and the film adaptation, would go on to celebrate the lives of these pioneering women, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, and shed light on their vital role in American history. What's fascinating about the making of Hidden Figures is that the production team and cast were deeply committed to ensuring that the portrayal of the real women was as authentic as possible. This dedication was evident in the film's meticulous attention to historical accuracy. One of the film's strangest facts is how much input the real-life figures had in the production. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were all still alive during the making of the film, and their contributions helped shape the way their characters were portrayed on screen. In fact, Katherine Johnson was personally consulted about the accuracy of her character's depiction. She was also introduced to Taraji P. Henson, who portrayed her in the film, and the two developed a deep connection. Henson was inspired by Katherine's grace, intelligence, and humility, and she made it her mission to embody these qualities while portraying the mathematician. Katherine, in turn, expressed how she felt about her portrayal in a heartfelt moment during a visit to the film set, remarking that she was pleased with how her character was being represented. The collaboration between the filmmakers and the real women extended beyond just one-on-one meetings. Director Theodore Melfi and screenwriter Allison Schroeder went to great lengths to ensure that the characters' experiences were authentically captured on screen. This was no small feat, as many of the challenges the women faced, especially in terms of racial and gender discrimination, had to be depicted in a nuanced and sensitive way. To achieve this, the filmmakers met with historians and experts on the space race to understand the intricacies of the period, as well as the specific roles the women played in the development of NASA's space program. In addition, they also worked with the NASA Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, to get a sense of the atmosphere and the work culture at the time. While accuracy was a priority, there were some surprising and unusual occurrences during the making of Hidden Figures. One of the most remarkable facts is how the film came to be shot on location in several important NASA facilities. Many of the film's pivotal scenes, such as the one set in the NASA control rooms, were filmed in actual historical locations, including the Langley Research Center in Virginia. The film's production team was able to gain access to these historic spaces, which had been off-limits to film crews in the past. This access helped create an air of authenticity and allowed the filmmakers to recreate the real-life environments in which the women worked. For example, the film features a breathtakingly accurate set of NASA's Space Task Group, where Katherine Johnson worked. The set design team worked tirelessly to recreate the iconic control room of the 1960s, from the retro computers to the desks and office furnishings, ensuring that every detail reflected the reality of the time. Another strange but fascinating aspect of the production process was the casting of the film's lead roles. Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe were all chosen to portray the three remarkable women, but each of them had to undergo significant preparation in order to embody their respective roles. For Henson, playing Katherine Johnson was a particular challenge, not because of the technicalities of the role, but because of the quiet dignity and composure that Katherine was known for. Henson worked closely with Katherine Johnson to understand the essence of her character. She not only spent time with Katherine herself, but also studied her mannerisms and personality in depth, ensuring that she captured Katherine's calm and methodical approach to problem-solving. One of the most interesting details about Henson's preparation was that she spent hours practicing Katherine's body language, studying her posture and movements, in order to accurately portray the mathematician's poise and grace. For Octavia Spencer, her role as Dorothy Vaughan was a bit closer to home. Spencer, who grew up in Montgomery, Alabama, felt a deep personal connection to the character she was portraying. She spent time with Dorothy Vaughan's family and immersed herself in the history of NASA during the time period in question. In fact, Dorothy Vaughan's daughter, Dr. Ann Atwater, made several visits to the set and worked with Spencer to help her better understand her mother's life and achievements. Spencer's portrayal of Dorothy is a tribute to the real woman, and her emotional performance earned her widespread acclaim. Janelle Monáe, who played Mary Jackson, had a very different experience preparing for her role. A classically trained singer and performer, Monáe had to immerse herself in the technical aspects of engineering, a field she knew little about prior to the film. She met with real-life engineers and took part in engineering seminars to familiarize herself with the technical language and skills her character would have possessed. One of the most interesting anecdotes from the set involves a scene where Mary Jackson is discussing the mechanics of spacecraft design. Monáe worked tirelessly with technical consultants to ensure that the dialogue felt authentic and that her character's knowledge and expertise were presented in a believable way. In fact, Monáe was so dedicated to her role that she learned the technical jargon associated with engineering, even if it was outside her comfort zone, which was a testament to her professionalism and commitment to portraying Mary Jackson authentically. Another fascinating piece of trivia from the making of Hidden Figures is the film's soundtrack, which plays an essential role in amplifying the emotional resonance of the story. The film's score was composed by Pharrell Williams, a multi-talented artist known for his work in the music industry and his passion for social justice. Williams worked closely with Melfi to create a soundtrack that reflected both the historical significance of the film and the emotional weight of the women's journey. What makes the soundtrack especially unique is how Williams integrated elements of both jazz and contemporary music to reflect the time period. The music carries a sense of urgency and empowerment, complementing the women's struggles while also celebrating their victories. Williams also collaborated with artists like Mary J. Blige and Alicia Keys to create songs that further elevated the film's impact, adding to the feeling of triumph and celebration as the women overcome obstacles and make history. In terms of filming itself, one of the more unusual aspects of Hidden Figures was how the filmmakers creatively used visual effects to capture the feeling of working in a time when technology was in its infancy. Given that much of the story revolves around mathematics and science, the film had to find a way to make these abstract concepts visually dynamic without losing the historical accuracy of the time period. The solution was to use animation to depict the complex calculations and equations that Katherine Johnson worked on. The sequence in which Katherine is solving the trajectory equations for John Glenn's flight is enhanced with animated visuals that bring the numbers and formulas to life, turning something that could have been dry and uninteresting into an exciting and visually captivating experience. One of the most striking aspects of the film's production process was how it honored the real-life accomplishments of the women involved, ensuring that their stories were told with integrity and accuracy. While Hidden Figures is a work of cinematic art, its foundation lies in the truth of the women's experiences. Throughout the filmmaking process, the team remained dedicated to preserving the legacy of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, ensuring that their contributions would never be forgotten. From the thoughtful casting to the careful research and historical consultation, every step was taken with the intent of honoring these women's incredible achievements. Hidden Figures is a film that not only celebrates the brilliance and resilience of three extraordinary women, but also stands as a testament to the behind-the-scenes work that made it possible for their stories to be told. From the cast's dedication to their roles to the unique challenges and creative decisions made during production, every element of the film's creation was driven by a deep respect for the real-life figures who changed the course of history. Their contributions to NASA and the American space program may have been overlooked for too long, but Hidden Figures ensures that their legacy lives on, inspiring generations to come. Hidden Figures is not just a film that tells an important story, it is a cinematic experience that evokes deep emotions, challenges historical narratives, and highlights the untold contributions of extraordinary women. The film's critical success lies in how it portrays pivotal events in the lives of its characters and, in turn, how those events reverberate across the broader societal context. From a critical standpoint, the significance of the events depicted in Hidden Figures cannot be understated. These events don't merely serve as plot points, but as powerful moments that shape the thematic and emotional resonance of the film. One of the most significant events in Hidden Figures is the portrayal of Katherine Johnson's work on John Glenn's orbital flight trajectory. This is not just a technical achievement, it represents a major turning point in the film. Johnson's precise calculations, which were originally overlooked because of her race and gender, are at the center of a climactic moment in the film, and the emotional intensity surrounding this achievement resonates deeply with audiences. The critical perspective here is that this event symbolizes the broader struggle for recognition that many African American women faced in the workforce, particularly in a field as high-stakes as space exploration. When Johnson's calculations prove accurate, it serves as a powerful metaphor for the recognition of her intelligence, talent, and perseverance. Her work becomes a symbol of breaking barriers, both in terms of her contributions to NASA and as a beacon of hope for marginalized groups. Another pivotal event that stands out in the film is Dorothy Vaughan's struggle to be recognized as a supervisor in the newly formed IBM room. Dorothy's professional ascent is not just about her own growth, but also about her responsibility to mentor and empower the women under her charge. Her decision to teach herself the skills necessary to operate the new IBM computer and subsequently teach her colleagues is an act of self-preservation as well as altruism. From a critical viewpoint, this event is central to the film's portrayal of the intersectionality of race and gender. Dorothy's success is not handed to her. It is earned through determination and self-reliance. The moment when she finally receives the recognition she deserves, standing in front of the men who initially doubted her, is a moment of great emotional power. Dorothy's journey is a testament to the resilience of women in the workplace who, despite being excluded from positions of power, work tirelessly to create their own opportunities. In conclusion, the critical perspectives on Hidden Figures highlight its power to impact audiences on multiple levels. Through its portrayal of key events, its exploration of important themes, and its emotional resonance, the film provides a complex and layered narrative that speaks to universal issues of race, gender, and equality. By focusing on the real-life stories of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, Hidden Figures has become more than just a film about NASA. It is a testament to the strength, resilience, and brilliance of the women who defied the odds to make history. Through these events and their themes, Hidden Figures continues to resonate with audiences, leaving an indelible mark on our understanding of the past and our vision for the future. The creation of Hidden Figures was a remarkable journey, filled with passion, attention to detail, and a relentless drive to honor the extraordinary women whose stories had long been overlooked. The filmmaking process behind this Academy Award-nominated film is as inspiring as the characters it portrays. From the moment the project was conceived, the team behind Hidden Figures knew that they had a responsibility to capture not only the accuracy of history but also the emotional depth of the women's experiences. This responsibility weighed heavily on the production crew as they aimed to bring the story to the screen in a way that would honor both the real-life figures and their groundbreaking contributions to space exploration. At the heart of the production process was the director, Theodore Melfi, whose vision was to create a film that not only educated but also uplifted audiences. Melfi and his co-writer, Allison Schroeder, worked tirelessly to ensure the film remained faithful to the history of the women involved. Their goal was to highlight the personal journeys of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, showing how their perseverance and brilliance helped shape the history of the United States space program. But they also wanted to infuse the film with a sense of triumph, allowing viewers to feel the weight of the struggles these women overcame, while also celebrating their ultimate successes. A key aspect of the filmmaking process involved assembling a talented cast. Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe were tapped to play the leading roles of Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary, respectively. The casting was pivotal, as the film's success relied heavily on the ability of the actors to breathe life into these real-life women, capturing their intelligence, resilience, and personal growth. The actresses approached their roles with deep respect and commitment, ensuring they portrayed their characters with the dignity and accuracy they deserved. Henson, known for her strong performances in projects like Empire, was initially hesitant about taking on the role of Katherine Johnson. She knew that Johnson's contributions to the space program were largely unknown, and she wanted to make sure she accurately represented the woman behind the calculations that helped launch John Glenn into space. After meeting with Johnson herself, Henson was inspired by her quiet strength and brilliance, and she knew she had to take on the role. The collaboration between Henson and Johnson was pivotal for the authenticity of the film, as Henson wanted to ensure that her portrayal captured the essence of the real woman. Octavia Spencer, who played Dorothy Vaughan, was no stranger to tackling complex, multi-dimensional characters. Spencer's portrayal of Vaughan was widely praised for its depth and nuance. In preparation for the role, Spencer immersed herself in Vaughan's life, learning about her achievements and understanding the challenges she faced as one of the first African-American women to become a supervisor at NASA. Spencer's portrayal of Vaughan's determination, mentorship, and drive for equality helped bring a level of authenticity to the character that resonated deeply with audiences. Janelle Monáe, best known for her music career, took on the role of Mary Jackson with a sense of urgency and determination. Jackson's journey to becoming NASA's first black female engineer was a central element of the story, and Monáe worked closely with the filmmakers to ensure she fully understood the significance of Jackson's achievements. She immersed herself in Jackson's life story and brought an energy to the role that was both vibrant and grounded. Monáe's portrayal of Mary Jackson captured her defiance in the face of systemic obstacles, and her performance was a testament to Jackson's inner strength and ambition. Beyond the lead performances, the film also required a supporting cast of talented actors to play the various NASA officials, colleagues, and family members who interacted with the three women throughout their journeys. Kevin Costner, who played Al Harrison, the director of the Space Task Group, was an essential part of the ensemble. Costner's portrayal of a NASA administrator who gradually comes to appreciate the women's contributions was crucial in providing a counterpoint to the racial and gender biases that pervaded the organization. His character's evolution mirrors the larger theme of the film, the slow but necessary change in attitudes toward race and gender in the workplace. The film's production design and costume choices were also carefully crafted to reflect the time period and setting of the story. The film takes place in the early 1960s, a time when racial segregation was still prevalent and gender roles were strictly defined. The production team worked closely with historians and consultants to recreate the look and feel of NASA during the space race. The sets were designed to reflect the institutional structures of NASA, with the distinct divisions between departments and the hierarchical nature of the organization. The team also worked hard to capture the texture of everyday life during the 1960s, from the architecture to the vehicles to the period-specific office equipment. The film's depiction of Mary Jackson's fight to be allowed to take engineering courses at an all-white institution is another critical event that highlights the systemic barriers faced by African American women. In Jackson's case, her journey is not just about breaking barriers within the workforce but also within the educational system. The social and racial norms of the time dictated that she should not have been allowed to further her education, yet her defiance in seeking permission to attend night classes and challenge these norms is both a personal and professional triumph. From a critical perspective, this event contributes to the film's larger narrative about defying oppressive systems and paving the way for future generations. Mary Jackson's moment of triumph, where she stands at the threshold of her educational journey, symbolizes the defiance and determination of the women who fought for equality within institutions that were not built for them to succeed. These key events are not just isolated moments. They are part of a broader narrative about the women's fight for recognition, equality, and respect in a society that often saw them as less than equal. One of the most significant ways in which these events contribute to the film's impact is by showcasing how these women overcame obstacles to achieve success in an environment that was overtly discriminatory. Their stories resonate deeply because they mirror the struggles faced by many individuals in marginalized communities who have had to fight for the right to be seen and heard. Beyond the personal achievements of the women, Hidden Figures is also about the emotional and thematic resonance of their journey. The theme of perseverance is threaded throughout the film, and it is reflected in the way each of the women refuses to let the circumstances of their time define their potential. The obstacles they face, ranging from blatant racism to institutionalized gender bias, are seemingly insurmountable, yet the women find ways to overcome these barriers and continue working toward their goals. In this sense, the film serves as both a celebration of their accomplishments and a reminder of the strength it takes to defy systemic oppression. The emotional resonance of the film is another aspect that adds to its critical impact. The filmmakers do an excellent job of depicting the emotional toll of being a black woman in the 1960s working in a predominantly white, male-dominated field. The moments of quiet frustration, isolation, and microaggressions are handled with a great deal of sensitivity, allowing the audience to connect with the characters on a human level. The film doesn't shy away from showing the painful reality of what it meant to be a woman of color during the height of the civil rights movement, but it also balances these moments with the joy and empowerment that comes with overcoming those challenges. The emotional highs and lows of the film give it an intensity that speaks to universal themes of dignity, respect, and the fight for justice. One of the most important aspects of the film's thematic exploration is the intersection of race and gender. The way Hidden Figures intertwines these two themes is particularly effective because it doesn't just show the women's struggles as being tied to one issue, it shows that their oppression is compounded by the fact that they are both black and female. The film's portrayal of this intersectionality adds depth to the characters and gives the audience a fuller understanding of the challenges they faced. For example, while Katherine Johnson's brilliance is recognized by the men around her, she is still relegated to a colored bathroom on the other side of the campus. This treatment, while subtly pointed out in the film, underscores the systemic racism that was present in even the most prestigious institutions. The way Johnson navigates these microaggressions and continues to do her work despite them is a testament to her inner strength and determination. Similarly, Dorothy Vaughn's story highlights the intersection of race and gender in the workplace. As an African American woman, she is seen as less capable than her white counterparts, yet she works tirelessly to prove her worth. Her willingness to adapt to the changing landscape of technology by learning to operate the IBM machine demonstrates her ability to not only survive but thrive in an environment that was not designed for her to succeed. The film's treatment of Vaughn's journey is a powerful commentary on the resilience and adaptability of marginalized groups in the face of discrimination. Mary Jackson's story also contributes to this theme of intersectionality, but with a particular focus on education. As a woman of color, Jackson is denied the opportunity to pursue an education in engineering because of the color of her skin. Her fight to take classes at an all-white school is an act of resistance that challenges the systemic racism and sexism that was prevalent at the time. Her eventual success in becoming NASA's first black female engineer is a powerful testament to her perseverance and determination, and it highlights the importance of education as a tool for breaking down racial and gender barriers. As much as the film explores these deep and serious issues, it is also about the power of friendship, community, and mutual support. The emotional resonance of the film is heightened by the relationships between the three women. Throughout the film, their bond is unshakable, and they support each other in the face of adversity. Whether it's Katherine Johnson's quiet determination, Dorothy Vaughn's mentorship, or Mary Jackson's boldness, each woman brings a unique strength to the group, and together they represent the power of collaboration. This theme of friendship and mutual support adds another layer of depth to the film, making it not only about individual triumphs but also about the strength that comes from community and solidarity. The way in which Hidden Figures weaves together these critical events, themes, and emotional moments contributes to its overall impact and reception. The film doesn't just focus on the achievements of the women. It also examines the broader social, cultural, and political landscape of the time, giving the audience a full understanding of what these women were up against. It is this combination of personal and societal triumphs that has made the film so impactful. The struggles of Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary are universal, representing the fight for equality, recognition, and the right to be seen and heard. The critical reception of the film is a reflection of its ability to resonate on both an intellectual and emotional level. Critics have praised the film for its excellent performances, its historical accuracy, and its ability to tackle important social issues with both sensitivity and empowerment. The film's success also lies in its ability to make the personal political, showing how individual stories are tied to larger movements for civil rights and gender equality. By focusing on these three women and their roles in the space race, Hidden Figures not only provides a missing chapter of history but also serves as a call to action for a more inclusive future. The costume design, led by Ruth E. Carter, was another key element in the film's success. Carter, who had previously worked on films like Selma and Black Panther, focused on ensuring that the costumes were both period-accurate and reflective of the women's personalities. Katherine Johnson's costumes, for example, were understated but elegant, reflecting her intelligence and quiet strength. Dorothy Vaughn's clothing conveyed her professional demeanor and authority, while Mary Jackson's costumes showcased her boldness and determination. Each detail in the costume design helped reinforce the characters' journey and added depth to their stories. The film's cinematography was another essential component in bringing the story to life. The cinematographer, Mandy Walker, worked closely with the director and production designer to create a visual language that captured the tone of the film. One of the most striking visual elements in Hidden Figures is the use of color. The film often contrasts the sterile, predominantly white environment of NASA with the vibrant clothing of the three women, visually emphasizing their individuality and their place in a system that was not designed for them to succeed. The cinematography also uses framing and camera movement to highlight moments of tension and triumph, creating a sense of intimacy and urgency as the characters fight for recognition and equality. The film's music also played a crucial role in setting the emotional tone of the story. Composers Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Benjamin Wallfisch collaborated to create a score that blended elements of traditional orchestral music with a more contemporary, energetic sound. The music helped convey the film's themes of perseverance, triumph, and social change. The upbeat, rhythmic score, particularly in scenes where the women are pushing boundaries, creates a sense of forward momentum and optimism. It underscores the determination of the characters to overcome the obstacles in their way. Beyond the technical aspects of filmmaking, the production of Hidden Figures was also shaped by a deep sense of purpose. The filmmakers were keenly aware of the responsibility they had in telling this important story, and they worked tirelessly to ensure that the film was both historically accurate and emotionally resonant. The crew was determined to honor the legacy of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, and their dedication to this mission was evident in every aspect of the production. One of the more interesting behind-the-scenes anecdotes from the film's production comes from the interaction between the cast and the real-life figures the film portrays. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were all involved in the making of the film, offering invaluable insight into their lives and careers. Katherine Johnson, for instance, was able to visit the set and meet Taraji P. Henson, who portrayed her in the film. The interaction between the two women was emotional and deeply meaningful. Johnson, who had never received the public recognition she deserved, was thrilled that her story was being told on the big screen. Similarly, Dorothy Vaughan's daughters were present on set, offering a first-hand account of their mother's life and the challenges she faced. These interactions helped ground the film in authenticity and ensured that the personal stories of these women were portrayed with the utmost respect. In terms of the production's challenges, one of the biggest hurdles was ensuring that the story was told in a way that was accessible to a wide audience. The filmmakers knew that they were telling a complex and important story, but they also wanted to make sure it was entertaining and emotionally engaging. This balance between education and entertainment was something the team worked hard to achieve, and the result was a film that resonated with audiences around the world. The film's success at the box office and its critical acclaim were a testament to the hard work and dedication of the entire production team. Hidden Figures grossed over $236 million worldwide and was widely praised for its performances, historical accuracy, and timely themes. The film's impact went beyond the screen, as it sparked conversations about the importance of diversity and inclusion in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, STEM, fields. It also inspired a new generation of women and people of color to pursue careers in STEM, showing them that they, too, could break barriers and make history. In conclusion, the making of Hidden Figures was a labor of love, passion, and dedication. From the meticulous attention to detail in the production design and costume choices to the heartfelt performances by the cast, every aspect of the filmmaking process was carefully crafted to tell the story of three extraordinary women who changed the course of history. The behind-the-scenes stories and anecdotes from the production only add to the film's emotional depth and authenticity. The film's creation was a testament to the power of storytelling and the importance of telling the stories of those who have been overlooked. Hidden Figures is not just a film. It is a celebration of the human spirit and the drive to make a difference, no matter the obstacles in one's path. The setting of Hidden Figures serves as both a backdrop and a powerful narrative element, vividly bringing the story of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson to life. The film is set during the early 1960s, a time of significant cultural and political upheaval in America. Against the backdrop of the civil rights movement and the space race, the filmmakers created a world that is visually striking and emotionally resonant, immersing the audience in the challenges and triumphs of these extraordinary women. The story unfolds primarily in Hampton, Virginia, home to the Langley Research Center, where the National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA) was at the forefront of the space race. The research center itself becomes a character in the film, representing both the opportunities and barriers that the protagonists must navigate. The production design team worked meticulously to recreate Langley as it would have appeared in the early 1960s. From the layout of the offices to the placement of typewriters and chalkboards, every detail was carefully considered to evoke the atmosphere of a high-stakes scientific environment. One of the most impactful settings in the film is the West Computing Group, the segregated office where African-American women mathematicians worked. The space is depicted as both physically and symbolically separate from the rest of NASA, underscoring the systemic racism and segregation of the era. The cramped quarters, outdated equipment, and lack of resources in the West Computing Group stand in stark contrast to the sleek, modern offices occupied by the white scientists and engineers. This visual juxtaposition highlights the inequities faced by Katherine, Dorothy, Mary, and their colleagues, setting the stage for their struggles and achievements. The filmmakers also use the setting of the main NASA offices to great effect. The Space Task Group, where Katherine Johnson is eventually assigned, is depicted as a bright, expansive, and intimidating space filled with rows of desks, buzzing with the energy of the space race. The environment feels both awe-inspiring and unwelcoming, reflecting Katherine's initial isolation as the only black woman in the room. The rigid formality of the space, with its cold fluorescent lighting and clinical design, underscores the pressure and scrutiny she faces as she strives to prove her worth. In addition to the workplace settings, the film takes the audience into the personal lives of its protagonists, offering a glimpse of their homes and communities. These settings provide a stark contrast to the institutional rigidity of NASA, showcasing the warmth and resilience of the women's families and the support networks that sustain them. Katherine's modest home, where she raises her daughters as a widowed mother, is depicted with an inviting warmth that contrasts with the sterility of her workplace. Similarly, Dorothy Vaughn's interactions with her children and Mary Jackson's vibrant community life highlight the humanity and depth of these characters, grounding their extraordinary achievements in their everyday realities. The film's cinematography plays a crucial role in enhancing the emotional impact of these settings. Cinematographer Mandy Walker uses lighting, color, and camera angles to create a visual language that complements the story's themes. In scenes set in the West Computing Group, the lighting is often subdued, with muted tones that emphasize the marginalization of the women working there. By contrast, scenes in the Space Task Group are brightly lit, almost harshly so, reflecting the intensity and high stakes of the space race. This deliberate use of lighting helps to establish the mood of each scene, drawing the audience into the characters' experiences. Color is another essential element of the film's visual design. The filmmakers use a subdued color palette to reflect the time period, with earthy tones and muted pastels dominating the costumes and settings. However, the vibrant clothing worn by Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary stands out against the neutral backgrounds, symbolizing their individuality and determination. This visual contrast reinforces the idea that these women are breaking through barriers and making their presence known in a world that often tries to render them invisible. Camera work is another key aspect of the film's storytelling. The filmmakers use a mix of wide shots and close-ups to create a sense of scale and intimacy. Wide shots are often used to depict the grandeur of NASA's operations, showcasing the vast rooms filled with scientists, engineers, and machinery. These shots emphasize the magnitude of the challenges faced by the protagonists, as well as the collective effort required to achieve the seemingly impossible goal of sending a man into space. In contrast, close-ups are used to capture the personal struggles and triumphs of the characters, focusing on their expressions and body language to convey their emotions. One of the most memorable examples of this contrast is the scene in which Katherine Johnson must run across the NASA campus to use the colored restroom. The filmmakers use a combination of wide shots to show the distance she must travel and close-ups to capture her frustration and exhaustion. The sequence is both visually and emotionally powerful, illustrating the indignities Katherine endures while highlighting her resilience and determination. This use of cinematography not only enhances the narrative but also deepens the audience's connection to the character. The film's use of sound also plays a crucial role in creating its atmosphere. The score, composed by Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Benjamin Wallfisch, blends traditional orchestral music with contemporary rhythms and melodies, creating a soundscape that is both evocative of the time period and resonant with modern audiences. The music underscores key moments in the film, heightening the emotional impact of the story. For example, the use of uplifting, rhythmic music during scenes of triumph reinforces the sense of progress and achievement, while quieter, more introspective pieces accompany moments of struggle and reflection. In addition to the score, the film makes effective use of diegetic sound to enhance its realism. The clatter of typewriters, the hum of computers, and the buzz of conversations in the NASA offices create an immersive auditory experience, drawing the audience into the world of the characters. These sounds serve as a constant reminder of the high-pressure environment in which the protagonists are working, adding to the tension and urgency of the story. The filmmakers also paid close attention to historical accuracy in their depiction of the film's settings and elements. Extensive research was conducted to ensure that the Langley Research Center was portrayed as accurately as possible, from the layout of the buildings to the equipment used by the scientists and mathematicians. The production team consulted with historians and former NASA employees to recreate the environment of the 1960s space program, ensuring that every detail was authentic. This commitment to accuracy extended to the visual effects used in the film. While Hidden Figures is primarily a character-driven drama, it also includes scenes depicting the spacecraft and rockets central to the story. The filmmakers used a combination of practical effects and CGI to recreate these iconic elements, ensuring that they were both visually impressive and historically accurate. The launch of John Glenn's Friendship 7 mission, for example, is depicted with a mix of archival footage and digital effects, seamlessly blending the two to create a visually stunning and emotionally charged sequence. One of the most striking aspects of the film's setting is its ability to transport the audience back to a pivotal moment in history. The attention to detail in the production design, combined with the skillful use of cinematography and sound, creates a world that feels both authentic and immediate. The settings and cinematic elements work together to immerse the audience in the story, allowing them to experience the triumphs and challenges of the characters on a visceral level. The settings and cinematic elements of Hidden Figures are not just a backdrop to the story, they are an integral part of its storytelling. From the segregated offices of the West Computing Group to the bustling corridors of NASA, each setting is imbued with meaning and purpose. The filmmakers use these spaces to explore themes of resilience, equality, and progress, creating a visual and emotional landscape that resonates deeply with audiences. In the end, the film's settings and cinematic elements serve as a testament to the power of storytelling. They bring the world of Hidden Figures to life, immersing the audience in a time and place where courage and determination could change the course of history. Through meticulous attention to detail and a deep understanding of the story's themes, the filmmakers created a cinematic experience that is as inspiring as it is visually stunning. Hidden Figures is not just a film, it is a celebration of the human spirit and the power of perseverance in the face of adversity. The making of Hidden Figures was as much a journey of collaboration and passion as the story it tells. Bringing this untold narrative to the screen required an extraordinary effort from the cast, crew, and creative team. Along the way, there were moments of joy, surprising challenges, and heartfelt camaraderie that made the process as inspiring as the finished film itself. One of the most remarkable aspects of the production was the way the cast and crew bonded over their shared mission to honor the real-life heroines of the story. Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe, who played Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, respectively, formed a close-knit trio that extended beyond their roles on screen. They spent hours together discussing the historical significance of their characters, sharing personal stories, and finding ways to bring authenticity to their performances. Their chemistry, which is so palpable in the film, was rooted in genuine friendship and mutual respect. Behind the scenes, the set was filled with energy and purpose. Director Theodore Melfi fostered an environment where everyone felt heard and valued, encouraging collaboration and creativity at every level. He often referred to the film as a labor of love and made a point of including the cast and crew in key decisions. For example, during one pivotal scene, Melfi sought input from the actors about how their characters might react in the moment, allowing their insights to shape the final performance. This approach not only enriched the film but also strengthened the sense of community among those involved. One particularly fun behind-the-scenes moment occurred during the filming of the IBM computer scenes. In the film, Dorothy Vaughan becomes one of the first programmers to master the IBM 7090, a room-sized machine that represented cutting-edge technology in the 1960s. Recreating this iconic computer was no small feat, as the original machines are no longer operational. The production team had to build a detailed replica, complete with blinking lights and spinning tape reels. During breaks in filming, the cast and crew would gather around the massive machine, marveling at its complexity and joking about how far technology had come since its heyday. Janelle Monáe, in particular, loved posing for playful photos with the giant beast, as she affectionately called it. The wardrobe department also had its share of challenges and triumphs. Costume designer Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus worked tirelessly to create period-accurate outfits that reflected the characters' personalities and circumstances. Each piece of clothing was carefully selected to tell a story, from Katherine Johnson's modest dresses to Mary Jackson's bold, colorful ensembles. Kalfus shared that finding vintage fabrics and patterns was a treasure hunt in itself, often involving trips to thrift stores, costume archives, and specialty shops. One amusing anecdote involved a last-minute adjustment to a hemline. Henson's dress for a key scene was slightly too long, and the team had to quickly alter it on set using safety pins and tape. Despite the scramble, the final look was flawless, and the moment became a light-hearted memory for everyone involved. While there were plenty of light-hearted moments, the production also faced significant challenges. One of the most daunting tasks was recreating the 1960s setting with authenticity and detail. The team scouted locations in Atlanta, Georgia, and other parts of the South to find spaces that could stand in for NASA's Langley Research Center and the surrounding community. Many of the chosen locations required extensive modifications to match the era. Streets were transformed with vintage cars, storefronts were redressed with period signage, and telephone poles were fitted with wires to match the infrastructure of the time. It was a meticulous process, but the results were worth it. Each frame of the film feels like a window into the past. The weather added an unexpected layer of complexity to the outdoor shoots. On one occasion, a sudden downpour threatened to derail a crucial scene. The cast and crew scrambled to protect the equipment while huddling under tents and umbrellas. Instead of letting the setback dampen spirits, the team turned the moment into an impromptu bonding session. Monet, always the entertainer, led a sing-along that had everyone laughing and clapping despite the rain. When the skies cleared, the crew quickly resumed filming, buoyed by the shared experience. Another memorable story from the set involved the use of real NASA engineers and mathematicians as consultants. The production team wanted to ensure that the technical details in the film were as accurate as possible, so they invited experts to review the script and provide guidance. Katherine Johnson herself, the real-life inspiration for Henson's character, visited the set and shared her insights. Her presence was a humbling and awe-inspiring moment for everyone involved. Henson later recalled how emotional it was to meet Johnson, describing her as graceful, sharp, and full of wisdom. The encounter deepened Henson's commitment to honoring Johnson's legacy through her performance. Interactions among the cast members were often filled with laughter and camaraderie. Kevin Costner, who played Al Harrison, was known for his dry sense of humor and often lightened the mood during long days of shooting. In one scene where Harrison dramatically destroys a colored restroom sign, Costner improvised a few lines that had the crew stifling giggles behind the camera. Although the improvisation didn't make it into the final cut, it became a running joke on set and highlighted Costner's ability to keep things fun while remaining professional. The children in the cast, who played Katherine Johnson's daughters, also brought a sense of joy and spontaneity to the set. During breaks, they would engage in impromptu dance-offs or play games with the crew, creating a lively atmosphere that kept everyone's spirits high. Their youthful energy was infectious, reminding the cast and crew of the importance of telling a story that could inspire future generations. One of the film's most challenging scenes to shoot was the launch of John Glenn's Friendship 7 mission. The sequence required a combination of archival footage, CGI, and practical effects to recreate the historic event. The production team collaborated closely with visual effects artists to ensure that the rocket launch looked as realistic as possible. On set, the actors had to react to green screens and simulated vibrations, relying on their imaginations to bring the moment to life. The end result is a breathtaking sequence that captures the awe and tension of the space race, but getting there required patience, precision, and a lot of teamwork. Despite the challenges, the cast and crew remained united by a shared sense of purpose. They knew they were telling a story that had been overlooked for far too long, and they were determined to do it justice. Producer Donna Gigliotti often reminded everyone of the film's core message: the power of perseverance and the importance of recognizing unsung heroes. This message resonated deeply with the team, fueling their dedication to the project. As the film neared completion, The cast and crew reflected on their journey with a mix of pride and gratitude. Many described the experience as transformative, both professionally and personally. For Henson, Spencer, and Monet, portraying such trailblazing women was a profound honor. They hoped that the film would not only entertain but also inspire audiences to celebrate diversity, challenge discrimination, and pursue their dreams against all odds. When Hidden Figures premiered, the response from audiences and critics alike validated the team's hard work and dedication. The film's success was a testament to the power of storytelling and the impact of a well-crafted production. Behind the scenes, it was the moments of connection, resilience, and shared purpose that made the journey unforgettable. In the end, the making of Hidden Figures was more than a film production. It was a celebration of courage, innovation, and the human spirit. The themes of Hidden Figures run deep, weaving through the narrative with a quiet but unrelenting force, much like the characters themselves. At its heart, the film explores the intersection of race, gender, and perseverance, shedding light on the invisible barriers that Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson broke as they carved out their place in history. It's a story about the power of intellect and determination, wrapped in layers of symbolism that enrich its emotional and thematic depth. The theme of perseverance shines brightly in the film, embodied by the three protagonists as they navigate the challenges of working at NASA in the 1960s. For Katherine Johnson, her brilliance as a mathematician is constantly tested not just by the complex calculations she must solve, but by the systemic obstacles she faces. The segregated facilities at Langley Research Center, a glaring symbol of racial inequality, are a daily reminder of the uphill battle she fights. Every time Katherine races across the campus to use the colored bathroom, the film underscores the absurdity and cruelty of segregation. Her triumph lies not in avoiding these hurdles but in confronting them head-on, ultimately proving that her intellect is undeniable and indispensable. The film also delves into the theme of recognition. Dorothy Vaughan's journey is a powerful exploration of the need for acknowledgement and respect. As a supervisor in Everything But Title, Dorothy shoulders the responsibilities of her role without receiving the official designation or the pay that comes with it. Her mastery of the IBM computer becomes a turning point, symbolizing her ability to adapt and stay ahead of the curve. When she is finally recognized as a supervisor, it feels like a victory not just for her but for every woman who has fought for the credit she deserves. Dorothy's story reminds viewers that recognition is not just about titles. It's about valuing contributions regardless of who makes them. Mary Jackson's arc, meanwhile, embodies the theme of breaking boundaries. Her dream of becoming an engineer requires her to challenge both societal norms and legal constraints. The scene where Mary petitions a judge to allow her to attend night classes at an all-white school is one of the film's most poignant moments. The courtroom, with its stark contrast between Mary and the towering system she's up against, serves as a symbolic battleground. Her courage and eloquence in that moment underscore the film's message. Change is possible, but it requires bravery and persistence. The film also explores the theme of unity in the face of adversity. While Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary face individual struggles, their bond serves as a source of strength. They support each other in ways both big and small, from sharing advice to offering a comforting word during difficult times. This unity is symbolized in the small but significant moments they share, such as gathering together in the car or exchanging knowing glances at work. Their friendship becomes a testament to the idea that collective resilience is more powerful than individual challenges. One of the film's most striking symbols is the blackboard. Throughout the story, mathematical equations are scribbled, erased, and rewritten, representing both the complexity of the challenges the characters face and the persistence required to solve them. The blackboard becomes a metaphor for progress. Each calculation brings the characters closer to their goals, just as each step forward in their personal battles brings them closer to justice and equality. For Katherine, standing before the blackboard is both an act of defiance and a demonstration of her genius. It's her canvas, her battlefield, and her proof that she belongs. Another potent symbol is the IBM computer, which represents both change and opportunity. While many at NASA view the machine as a threat to their jobs, Dorothy sees it as a chance to innovate and stay relevant. Her decision to teach herself and her team how to program the computer is a symbolic rejection of fear and an embrace of progress. The whirring tapes and blinking lights of the machine contrast sharply with the human effort it replaces, highlighting the tension between tradition and modernization. Yet, in Dorothy's hands, the machine becomes a tool for empowerment rather than displacement. The space race itself serves as a larger metaphor for human ambition and collaboration. While the United States and the Soviet Union compete to dominate the skies, the film suggests that true progress comes from working together, regardless of differences. This idea is mirrored in the characters' stories. Katherine's success in calculating the trajectories for John Glenn's mission is a result of her collaboration with a team that eventually learns to respect her. The launch of Friendship 7 becomes a symbolic moment of unity, as the combined efforts of diverse individuals culminate in a shared triumph. The film also uses visual symbolism to reinforce its themes. The stark contrast between the bustling, modern NASA offices and the cramped, outdated West Computing Group highlights the inequality faced by the women of color who work there. The slow transition from the West Computing Group to more integrated spaces mirrors the gradual dismantling of racial barriers. Similarly, the long, lonely walk Katherine takes to the colored bathroom becomes a recurring visual motif, emphasizing the physical and emotional distance created by segregation. When Al Harrison demolishes the restroom sign, it's a cathartic moment that signals the breaking of one such barrier, however small. Even the costumes in the film carry symbolic weight. Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus, the costume designer, used clothing to reflect the characters' personalities and journeys. Katherine's practical yet elegant dresses suggest her focus and professionalism, while Mary's bold outfits mirror her confident, trailblazing spirit. Dorothy's polished, understated wardrobe reflects her quiet determination and leadership. These sartorial choices help to subtly communicate the characters' inner lives and the social dynamics of the time. The theme of legacy is woven throughout the film, reminding viewers of the importance of preserving and celebrating history. By telling the story of Katherine, Dorothy, and Mary, Hidden Figures ensures that their contributions are not forgotten. This theme is especially poignant in the scenes involving Katherine's daughters, who look up to their mother as a role model. The film suggests that the progress made by one generation can pave the way for the next, creating a ripple effect that transcends time. Faith and belief in oneself also emerge as quiet but powerful themes. Despite facing systemic discrimination and constant doubt, the characters never lose faith in their abilities. Katherine's unwavering confidence in her calculations, Dorothy's trust in her vision for the future, and Mary's belief in her right to pursue her dreams all underscore the idea that self-belief is a cornerstone of success. Their stories remind viewers that change often begins with the simple act of believing that it is possible. In the end, the themes and symbolism of Hidden Figures are deeply interconnected with its plot and characters. They add layers of meaning to the story, making it not just a tale of individual triumphs but a larger commentary on societal progress. The film challenges audiences to reflect on the barriers that still exist today and to draw inspiration from the courage and resilience of those who dare to defy them. It's a story that resonates on multiple levels, leaving a lasting impression that extends far beyond the screen. The crafting of Hidden Figures was as precise and deliberate as the calculations at its core, a film built with a meticulous blend of filmmaking techniques that brought its powerful story to life. Every element, from the camera work to the sound design, played a role in shaping its atmosphere, immersing viewers in the world of NASA's Space Task Group and the personal struggles of its trailblazing protagonists. Behind the scenes, director Theodore Melfi and his team made thoughtful choices that amplified the emotional resonance of the film and ensured its accessibility to a wide audience. These decisions were not just artistic but also technical achievements that contributed to the movie's success both critically and commercially. From the very first frames, the cinematography of Hidden Figures establishes its tone. Cinematographer Mandy Walker used a blend of warm and cool color palettes to reflect the duality of the characters' lives. The warm tones dominate scenes that highlight personal triumphs, such as the camaraderie between Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, or moments of familial love. In contrast, the cooler tones permeate scenes set in the stark, sterile environment of NASA, emphasizing the rigidity and coldness of the workplace hierarchy. This interplay of colors subtly underscores the emotional stakes of the film, drawing viewers into the characters' experiences without overtly stating them. The camera work itself was purposeful, with Walker employing a mix of close-ups and wide shots to guide the audience's attention. Close-ups were often reserved for moments of personal struggle or triumph, allowing viewers to connect deeply with the characters. Katherine's face, lit by the glow of her calculations, becomes a canvas of determination and vulnerability. On the other hand, wide shots are used to depict the scale of NASA's operations, the imposing nature of the space race, and the physical separations caused by segregation. These visual contrasts create a dynamic rhythm that mirrors the highs and lows of the narrative. Editing played a pivotal role in maintaining the film's pacing and emotional impact. Editor Peter Teschner seamlessly wove together scenes of personal drama with moments of scientific tension. For example, the sequence leading up to John Glenn's launch masterfully intercuts Katherine's last-minute calculations with the countdown at mission control. The rapid cuts between these two locations heighten the tension, making the audience feel the weight of every second. This technique not only builds suspense but also reinforces the interconnectedness of the characters' contributions to the mission's success. Sound design and music were equally vital in shaping the film's atmosphere. The score, composed by Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and Benjamin Wallfisch, blends orchestral arrangements with period-appropriate rhythm and blues, creating a soundscape that is both modern and nostalgic. Pharrell's contributions, in particular, add a vibrant energy to the film, with tracks like Runnin' and Crave reflecting the character's resilience and determination. The music often serves as a counterpoint to the dialogue, filling the spaces where words are unnecessary and emotions speak louder. Sound effects were used sparingly but effectively, particularly in the NASA scenes. The hum of computers, the tapping of typewriters, and the muffled voices of engineers create an authentic backdrop that grounds the story in its historical context. These sounds, combined with the rhythmic cadence of the score, create a sense of urgency that propels the narrative forward. During moments of tension, such as the malfunction of Glenn's spacecraft, the sound design shifts to reflect the character's inner turmoil. Silence, too, becomes a tool, used to amplify the weight of pivotal moments, such as Katherine's confrontations with her colleagues or the shattering of segregation barriers. Lighting was another key element that shaped the film's visual narrative. Naturalistic lighting dominated the scenes, with sunlight streaming through windows to highlight moments of hope and possibility. In contrast, dimly lit corridors and offices reflect the oppressive atmosphere of NASA's segregated environment. The interplay of light and shadow becomes a metaphor for the characters' journeys, as they navigate a world of barriers and breakthroughs. One particularly striking example is the scene where Dorothy Vaughan steps into the IBM room for the first time. The dim glow of the computer lights against the darkened room mirrors her initial uncertainty, which gradually transforms into confidence as she masters the technology. The film's attention to period detail extended to its production design, which recreated the 1960s with remarkable authenticity. Production designer Wynne Thomas worked meticulously to ensure that every set piece, from the NASA offices to the characters' homes, reflected the era accurately. The West Computing Group's workspace, with its outdated equipment and cramped quarters, contrasts sharply with the sleek, modern design of the Space Task Group offices, visually reinforcing the disparities between the two worlds. These details ground the film in its historical context, allowing viewers to fully immerse themselves in the story. Costume design also played a significant role in storytelling. Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus created costumes that not only reflected the characters' personalities but also their societal roles. The filmmaking techniques extended beyond aesthetics to include a commitment to accuracy and authenticity in portraying the story. Melfi and his team consulted extensively with NASA historians, mathematicians, and even the families of the real-life figures to ensure that the film honored their contributions. The mathematical equations seen on screen were carefully researched, and the spacecraft simulations were designed to reflect the actual technology of the time. These efforts not only enhanced the film's credibility but also underscored its dedication to celebrating the achievements of its protagonists. The box office success of Hidden Figures is a testament to the effectiveness of these techniques. Released during the holiday season of 2016, the film quickly became a cultural phenomenon, grossing over $236 million worldwide against a modest budget of $25 million. Its appeal extended across demographics, resonating with audiences of all ages and backgrounds. Part of this success can be attributed to the film's universal themes and its ability to blend drama, humor, and inspiration. The carefully crafted visuals and soundscapes made it accessible and engaging, while the strong performances of the cast brought the story to life. Marketing also played a crucial role in the film's success. The trailers and promotional materials emphasized the inspirational aspects of the story, positioning it as a feel-good film that celebrated unsung heroes. The use of Pharrell Williams' music in the marketing campaign added a contemporary touch, appealing to younger audiences while maintaining the film's historical authenticity. Word of mouth further bolstered its popularity, with viewers praising its compelling story and stellar performances. In addition to its box office performance, Hidden Figures garnered critical acclaim and numerous awards. It was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, and won the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. These accolades reflect not only the quality of the filmmaking but also the significance of the story it tells. By shining a light on the contributions of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, the film has left an indelible mark on both cinema and history. Ultimately, the filmmaking techniques used in Hidden Figures were instrumental in bringing its story to life. The thoughtful use of cinematography, editing, sound, and production design created a film that is as visually and emotionally compelling as it is historically significant. These choices, combined with the powerful performances of the cast and the meticulous attention to detail, resulted in a film that continues to inspire and resonate with audiences worldwide. The journey of Hidden Figures from script to screen was as much about the remarkable cast and their dedication to the story as it was about the historical events they portrayed. Bringing the inspiring lives of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson to life required not just acting talent but also a deep understanding of their significance. The cast, led by Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe, embraced this challenge wholeheartedly, diving into their roles with passion and purpose. Their performances, combined with candid interviews and audience reactions, reveal the heart of what made Hidden Figures such a beloved film. Taraji P. Henson stepped into the shoes of Katherine Johnson with grace and intensity, portraying her as a woman of quiet brilliance who refuses to be overshadowed by adversity. Henson's interviews shed light on her preparation for the role, where she spoke of the immense responsibility she felt in portraying such a significant figure in history. To capture Katherine's mathematical genius, Henson worked with consultants to understand the calculations featured in the film, ensuring she could perform them convincingly. In one interview, she shared how moved she was by Johnson's humility when they met, describing her as a woman who simply loved numbers and let her work speak for itself. Octavia Spencer brought her signature strength and charisma to the role of Dorothy Vaughan. Spencer's portrayal highlighted Dorothy's unwavering determination to break barriers, both for herself and the women she led. In her interviews, Spencer often spoke of her admiration for Vaughan's forward-thinking attitude, particularly her decision to master the IBM computer system before it became mainstream. Dorothy was a visionary, Spencer remarked. She saw where the world was heading and made sure she and her team were prepared. Her performance earned her widespread praise and an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Janelle Monáe, in her breakout role as Mary Jackson, captured the fiery spirit of a woman determined to challenge the status quo. Known primarily as a musician before Hidden Figures, Monáe demonstrated her versatility as an actress, imbuing Mary with a blend of humor, resolve, and vulnerability. In interviews, Monáe expressed her deep connection to the character, stating, "Mary was bold in ways that I aspire to be. She fought for her dreams, no matter the obstacles." Monáe also spoke about the importance of representation, emphasizing that telling these women's stories was a way to inspire future generations. Kevin Costner, playing Al Harrison, the head of the Space Task Group, brought a stoic yet supportive presence to the film. While Harrison's character was a composite of several real-life figures, Costner infused him with authenticity, portraying him as a man who gradually comes to recognize and value Katherine's brilliance. In interviews, Costner highlighted the importance of showing allyship in the story, noting, "Harrison's journey mirrors what many people need to understand, that talent knows no boundaries of race or gender." Kirsten Dunst and Jim Parsons rounded out the cast, portraying Vivian Mitchell and Paul Stafford, characters who represented the systemic barriers faced by the protagonists. Dunst, in particular, spoke of the challenge of playing a character who embodies passive resistance to change. "It wasn't easy to step into those shoes," she admitted, "but it was necessary to show the reality of the time." Parsons, known for his comedic roles, took a serious turn as Stafford, a character whose initial dismissiveness of Katherine evolves into reluctant respect. Both actors acknowledged the importance of showing these nuanced dynamics to paint an accurate picture of the era. Behind the scenes, the camaraderie among the cast was palpable. Interviews revealed a strong sense of community on set, with Henson, Spencer, and Monet often sharing stories of their laughter-filled moments between takes. Spencer recalled how Monet would break into song to lighten the mood during intense scenes, while Henson mentioned how they would collectively delve into research to ensure they honored the women they portrayed. This bond translated seamlessly onto the screen, enhancing the authenticity of their performances. The audience response to Hidden Figures was nothing short of extraordinary. Viewers from all walks of life were moved by the film's powerful story and heartfelt performances. Many praised the cast for their ability to bring these historical figures to life with such depth and relatability. Taraji P. Henson's portrayal of Katherine Johnson was frequently singled out, with viewers commending her ability to convey both strength and vulnerability. One audience member wrote, "Henson made me feel every calculation Katherine performed, every slight she endured, and every victory she achieved." Octavia Spencer's Dorothy Vaughan also struck a chord with audiences, particularly her role as a mentor and advocate for her team. Her line, "I'm not asking for permission, I'm telling you," became a standout moment, earning applause in theaters and sparking discussions about leadership and empowerment. Janelle Monáe's performance as Mary Jackson resonated deeply, especially with younger viewers who saw her as a symbol of resilience and ambition. One fan tweeted, "Monáe's Mary is the role model we didn't know we needed. Bold, brilliant, and unapologetically herself." The film's broader themes of perseverance, equality, and teamwork resonated universally, making it a hit not just in the United States but internationally. Audiences in countries with their own histories of social injustice found parallels in the struggles depicted in the film. A viewer from South Africa commented, "The story of Hidden Figures transcends borders. It's a reminder that progress is possible, no matter the obstacles." Critics, too, were effusive in their praise. Many highlighted the film's ability to balance historical accuracy with compelling storytelling. One reviewer noted, "Hidden Figures doesn't just tell a story, it makes you feel like you're a part of it." That's a testament to the cast and their extraordinary performances. Another critic wrote, "The chemistry between Henson, Spencer, and Monáe is the heart of the film. They make history come alive." Interviews with the cast further revealed their hopes for the film's impact. Henson spoke passionately about the need for more stories that celebrate unsung heroes, particularly women and people of color. "This isn't just a movie, it's a movement," she said. Spencer echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the importance of representation in media. "Seeing yourself on screen, knowing your story matters, that's powerful," she remarked. Monáe, for her part, expressed her gratitude for being part of a project that shed light on history's hidden figures. "It's an honor to help tell their story," she said. "They deserve to be remembered." The cast's dedication and the film's universal appeal ensured that Hidden Figures left a lasting impact on audiences and the industry alike. It sparked conversations about representation, inspired educational initiatives to promote STEM fields, and reminded viewers of the power of perseverance and teamwork. As one fan succinctly put it, "Hidden Figures isn't just a movie you watch, it's a story you carry with you." The journey through the world of Hidden Figures has been as illuminating as the story it tells. We've delved deep into the film's layers, exploring its rich narrative, groundbreaking characters, and the profound themes that resonate long after the credits roll. With every detail uncovered, the movie emerges as a testament to resilience, innovation, and the triumph of the human spirit. Let's take a moment to revisit the key highlights of this remarkable cinematic experience. From the outset, Hidden Figures captivates with its compelling portrayal of Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, three extraordinary women whose contributions to NASA helped shape history. Their stories of overcoming systemic barriers and proving their worth in a male-dominated, racially segregated workplace lay the foundation for a narrative that's equal parts inspiring and enlightening. As we retraced their steps, the film's depiction of their courage and determination reminded us that true heroes often emerge from the shadows, quietly changing the world one act at a time. The film's plot, crafted with precision, weaves together their personal struggles and professional triumphs, creating a tapestry that is both heartfelt and thrilling. We followed Katherine as she navigated the intricacies of advanced mathematics while battling prejudice, Dorothy as she defied expectations to master new technology and lead her team, and Mary as she fought for the right to pursue her dreams. These arcs converge in moments of collective triumph, with each woman leaving an indelible mark on NASA's mission to conquer the unknown. But beyond the story itself, Hidden Figures succeeds in its ability to shine a spotlight on the lesser-known chapters of history. It reminds us of the many unsung heroes who've made significant contributions to progress, yet remain unrecognized. By bringing their achievements to the forefront, the film serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of representation and the need to tell stories that have been overlooked for far too long. Throughout our exploration, we also uncovered fascinating behind-the-scenes details that added depth to the film's legacy. From the meticulous research that ensured historical accuracy to the innovative filmmaking techniques that brought the 1960s to life, every aspect of Hidden Figures was crafted with care and intention. We learned how the cast's dedication to their roles elevated the film, with Taraji P. Henson, Octavia Spencer, and Janelle Monáe delivering performances that were not only emotionally resonant but also deeply respectful of the women they portrayed. We also marveled at the film's thematic resonance, which extends far beyond its historical setting. Themes of perseverance, equality, and teamwork are woven seamlessly into the narrative, making it a story that feels both timeless and timely. The symbolism scattered throughout, whether in the use of space as a metaphor for limitless potential or the recurring imagery of doors opening, adds layers of meaning that invite viewers to reflect on their own journeys and aspirations. Moreover, the film's reception, both critically and commercially, speaks to its universal appeal. Audiences from diverse backgrounds connected with its message, sparking conversations about representation, inclusion, and the value of untold stories. The accolades it received, including multiple award nominations, further cemented its place as a cinematic milestone. It's rare for a film to achieve both emotional resonance and cultural significance, but Hidden Figures manages to do so with grace and power. As we discussed the cast and their experiences, it became clear that their passion for the project extended far beyond their performances. Their interviews revealed a shared commitment to honoring the real-life women they portrayed and ensuring that their stories would inspire future generations.